Hello coders, welcome to today's lesson on HTML and CSS. In the last lesson, we'll talk about how to utilize the style attribute to write CSS. In today's lesson, we're going to cover the basics of how to make use of the style HTML elements to write our CSS code. Without further ado, let's jump right in. So, under the title element, we create an element called style. So you can remove this, it is not necessary. So inside the style attribute, so let me just preview this so as for you to see where we are on the last video. So this is where we are in the last video. So we are not gonna use the style attribute anymore since we're gonna use the internal CSS. So the style attribute is for writing the internal CSS. So let me show you an example of inline. So we have three types of CSS. We have three types of CSS. So they are inline CSS, we have internal CSS, and external like so. So that's the three CSS we have. So the first aspect is by making use of the style attribute, like so, by saying this color red, like that. So this is what this is inline CSS, like so. So we gonna use the internal CSS right now, which is the second part of CSS. So we do that after the title element right here. So you can remove this type attributes. So you can leave it this way, it's still gonna work. So let us refresh for us to see. So now what we're gonna do now is to make use of the same property and value. So note the CSS property, there's something called rule set in CSS. So the rule set is comprises of the HTML selector followed by the two curly braces and as well as the property and value. So the HTML selector is something like this. When you write h1 followed by the curly braces followed by the property that you want to assign. Let me just use font size, like so. Let me just say 150px, like so. So don't do this mistake by saying, since it is an HTML element, you can write it this way, for example. Don't do this. This is gonna give you an error. So you just remove this, you strip this off, this angle bracket, you strip it off your CSS code. So whenever you're utilizing the style attributes, the style elements rather, so whenever you are using it, inside of it you want to start an HTML element, just write the element name followed by the curly bracket as well as the property and value. So this font hyphen size column is the property that we assign to the h1 element, while this 150 pixel semicolon is the value we assign to it. So this font size is the property and this is the value. So if we save this and preview, the font's gonna turn a little bit larger than normal. So let us start the paragraph. For the paragraph, this is how you're gonna do it. You're gonna do the same. You just say color is gonna be Rebecca purple, like so. Refresh. Wow, as you can see, the color changes. So in the next video we'll talk more about external CSS. I hope this worked. So as long as you follow along, you get to know how to make use of, how to utilize much more CSS property and value. I'll see you in the very next video. I'll see you next time. Bye.